I am actively in a creative slump as I'm filming this video. But it's okay because I know I will get through it, and I know I will get through it because I have coping skills, which I'm going to teach these skills to you today, and at the end we will also briefly talk about how to avoid ever getting in a creative slump to begin with. So it's going to be a bit of a longer video, so feel free to grab a snack, get a nice cup of tea, and let's hang out for a bit. You know that the artistic slump is hitting when just the thought of making a video or a drawing or whatever art form you have is so overwhelming that all you want to do is hide under a blanket with your phone and like a bowl of craisins. I don't know, I just really like craisins and I've been craving them a lot recently, so it's the first thing I thought of, and just hide away from it all. But we are not going to do that. Not now, not ever, not us. We are too strong for that. Ooh. As overwhelming as it may feel, you have made art before and you can make art again. What I do when my projects start to feel overwhelming is I write down every single step on a piece of paper. Then I will focus on just the first step until that one is completed. Then I'll move on to the second step and then the third step and keep going until the entire list is completed. Not only does this simplify things and make the project more doable, but it also gets you out of your own head, which is where I tend to over-exaggerate my woes and blow everything out of proportion. So writing it down really puts the work into perspective and makes every task seem so much more doable. Typically, I will just have a simple list of like film, edit, post, short, sweet, to the point, but there are definitely days when I need a little bit extra motivation, and those are the days I will break it down, such as instead of writing edit, I will write something like rough cut, final cut, audio, text, color correct. You get the idea. Do each step until it's done. Productive procrastination. Ah yes, my greatest enemy. Let's see. Productive procrastination is explained as a delay tactic in which one does beneficial tasks while delaying the actual, more important tasks. I actually just did this today because I wrote this script instead of editing a video that I really had to get done. So clearly I am still fighting this one, but the best way I have found to beat productive procrastination is to first recognize what it looks like for you. I, for instance, tend to reorganize my room or put a lot of energy into my Instagram stories. I don't know why, but that's my productive procrastination. So figure out what you do to procrastinate productively, and then maybe when the time comes, you'll be able to recognize it and stop it. And also have a set in stone to-do list. No flexibility allowed. Whatever comes up next is what must be done. Man, I have to go edit that video. Honestly, the only thing getting me through this creative slump is the constant reminder of you don't have to make the next Mona Lisa, you just have to make something. I feel like a lot of artists have the desire to completely change the world with their art. And although I firmly believe that we can change the world, I do think that there's also a lot of art out there that's just really pretty or it's cool to look at and is pleasing to the eye, and that's about it. And that is okay. I know that personally my artistic slump or block typically hits when I start to feel inadequate for my artistic field, or like I can't make anything earth-shattering or unique with my art, like I'm not good enough for it, and honestly, I'm starting to learn how to just be okay with that feeling. I mean, if you really think about it, even the most greatest, most famous artists are really only famous for like one or two of their paintings. Meanwhile, they have hundreds, if not thousands of other paintings that we've either never seen or just don't ever talk about. So I don't know why we always assume that we're going to make the greatest artwork every time we pick up a pen, a paintbrush, a camera, whatever it is, when even the greatest of the great couldn't do that. As much as it pains me some days, I do still force myself to work on something creative every single day. Even if it's only for 30 minutes, I still show up and I work on it, and that's the important part. Maintaining this habit keeps your skills and your mind active, and it helps me to break free from my slump a little bit faster because I'm no longer basking in the sorrows of artistic drought every day. There are days when you are going to be an artistic machine, and then there are also days when you are going to just slowly climb this creative ladder one rung at a time, and that is okay. Just keep on climbing. Now let us talk about ways to keep from getting burnt out in the first place. Now it is inevitable, you will get burnt out from time to time as an artist, but there are some tricks that can keep these burnouts a little bit more few and far between. If you are solely focused on these big picture goals, you are going to get burnt out so quickly because every small achievement you make towards the goal is going to feel so minuscule in comparison to the final goal, and you're going to feel unaccomplished, and that just causes a lot of burnout. So stop focusing on that big goal. I'm not saying you shouldn't have it. I'm just saying stop focusing on it. Start focusing on something that you can actually achieve and that you can actively see being achieved. For instance, my big goal is I would really like to make a living off of film. I broke that down into I would like to get 500 subscribers. That is much more reachable, and every new subscriber I get feels like an absolute leap towards the end of my goal. So it's more rewarding and I stay dedicated to it for longer. Take breaks. Trust me, take those breaks. This one is tricky. I will not deny that. When I am in the middle of a project, I get so focused on it that I will just work on it for hours. And if I take a break in between there, it's going to be really hard for me to pick up the project again where I started. And so breaks are just really impractical. And I found myself neglecting breaks altogether, which is not healthy, and I think that's how I ended up where I am right now. So the way I've been able to make this work is I allow myself hours upon hours of just straight work. It works best for me. I can get things done and stay completely focused. And then I will have longer breaks, like an entire night off or a couple hours where I just go for a walk in the park in the afternoon. And that just works better with me and the way my brain works, but you can totally do like the 20 minutes of work, 5-minute break, and do short breaks throughout the day if that works better for you. Just please take breaks. And these breaks should be enriching. So no scrolling on TikTok or munching on snacks. Although that's fun, they don't really refuel you and get you energized to keep working. So instead, do something like hanging out with friends, reading a book, listening to music, going outside, doing a workout, cleaning, something that enriches you and gives you a change of pace, but doesn't turn you into like a couch potato. Because there's a time and place for the whole potato couchness, but that time and place is not in our productive break time. Which this actually blends into my next point perfectly, which is to live your life. Art is a very personal act that is inspired from the person's experiences and brought from their perception of the world. You can't continue to make cool or beautiful art if you don't continue to gain experiences. I know for a fact that the weeks I am just stuck in my room making art are the weeks that the art I make is the most flat and I feel the most artistically drained. So it really is just all about balance. And lastly, final point here, blend your content. I make a lot of videos for my channel that I know will fit the YouTube brand and will hopefully bring in more viewers. And although I really do like making these videos, I get very critical and I analyze each video as I'm making them, so it can get draining pretty quickly, and therefore I've learned to allow myself to make at least one video every so often that's just on a whim, creative thought I had, I want to make it, doesn't so much mean other people want to watch it, and it keeps my artisticness alive because I get to make more videos that I like to make. So basically, even if you're making a bunch of art for clients or viewers, still find the time to make something that just fuels that artistic, childish side of you. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. As I already mentioned in this video, I have a goal of reaching 500 subscribers by the end of September. So if you'd like to help me reach that goal and subscribe, I would be most grateful. And comment down below if you also have any tips on how to beat an artistic slump, because boy do I need help right now. And I will see you again for the next video in a couple of days, because I post 3 times a week. Another good goal of mine. Alright, I'll see you later. Goodbye.